I actually put on a lipstick before looking at myself and I just saw what I did. So, have you ever done that? Getting it all over your teeth and you're like, hi, and you got lipstick everywhere? That's what I just did. All right, here we go. Welcome to my beach paradise. I feel like I'm like surrounded by my plants. They're my babies. They're my babies. Okay, so we've got like 20 minutes. My son's upstairs watching a little movie, and I wanted to have a conversation with you as your cells, visibility, love, heart, spirit cheerleader. I actually recorded a new quick 2-minute prayer on the beach this morning, and I can't wait to share it with you. I know you guys really like those. And let's see if anybody's come on to the Facebook Live. I don't know if I'm going to get any notifications. Oh, yay! A couple people are here. Okay. So if you're watching, oh, hi, Jackie. All right. If you're watching and you need any kind of smudging, energy clearing, I am going to get my crystal. I am going to set up a grid. Okay, so let's set up a grid. Before we start, let's just call on the light to surround this live, uplift us, fill us completely. And I see really shimmering turquoise light. Closing any holes, closing anywhere you're leaking energy towards anything or anyone, anywhere you worry, suck your feelers back in. Anywhere you're not sure, suck your feeler back in. You don't need to try to heal situations and people with your energy. Let the light do that with you and for you. And may this beautiful Facebook be surrounded by a happy, happy light and energy, and anybody who comes into contact with it, may you know that you are protected, loved, safe, guided, inspired, shown the right door to go through, shown the right path to go through. May every step you take towards your dreams feel absolutely inspired and safe and exciting and fun. Okay, good. All right. I'm going to call some archangels. I think we have a couple of archangels who want to come and hang out. This is Friday night for me, anybody, yeah? And Friday night is really special because it was the night that I would hang out at a spiritual center in Las Vegas, Ganesha Center, and we would meditate together for an hour, a whole bunch of us, and I would guide and channel archangels and angels to do healings and just magic. And then we would read everybody's cards, and it was really fun. So who knows what's going to come up. So if you want to comment with any question, I don't know how long you guys can hang out. This wasn't like totally planned. So if you want to help me come up with a specific topic, there's a few things I want to talk about. And most importantly, I want to mention what I do when I shake, because you guys might see me do the shake off. And it's a real thing. It's called the shake off, and it is a way to release energy. So I feel it when you guys release in my body, and I feel it when I shift frequency on the scale of consciousness. So like if I call on the light, I might shake off because I'm kind of releasing whatever, lower emotion from the day when I was out and about, and then I'll shake off. Okay, so the shake off is also something you want to allow your body to do after a stressful event. So if you see the ducks in the lake, they fight over a piece of bread and then they kind of go at it with each other and then they go away and they shake their little booty. Yeah, if you've ever seen dogs do the shake off, they'll freeze and then they'll go like this and shake off. Yeah. Anybody watching familiar with the shake off? So it's a way for you to release like the stress, all the cortisol, all the stuff that flows through your bloodstream. It's just a way for you to go, I'm okay, I'm safe now. And some of us, most of us, we forgot to do that. So we stay frozen or we stay kind of like tight, like, I don't know what to do, Okay, so if you ever do energy healing and you start to connect to the light and you start to release the fear of lacking safety or the fear of lacking control, you'll probably start to feel like it's coming off. So, all right, I don't never know what to do with my hair, but we'll make it work. Okay, so all right, I don't know. We'll make it work. Hang on. Okay, so the sound comes on. Okay. So why do I bring up the shake off? So when you start a business or you go into visibility or you go into doing anything with the humans in life, you might come across situations where you might look back in hindsight and be really proud of yourself. You might look back at the decisions you've made and the choices you made and the things like the people you like, the person you married, the boss the job you took on, the boss you worked for. You might look back and feel really good about the decisions you made. You might feel really proud of yourself. You might be like, you know what? I made some really great choices. Yeah. And then you might go out and start your own business, and you might go out and start new things. And you might start to notice that decision making or that ability to think quick on your feet and be more productive and be more on top of it feels lacking. So I've had quite a lot of women in different groups say this when they left the corporate world. In the corporate world, they felt like they were on top of it. They were earning six figures, they were managers, they were managing hundreds of people, and they were just quick on their feet. And then they left corporate and they started their own business as a therapist, as something else. And they were like, where did my ability go? I feel so frozen when I work for myself. I'm not able to carry over the same ease. Yeah. Okay. So you might forward or backwards wonder, where did that person go that was so good at this, that was able to do this, that was able to make quick decisions and all of that. So here's what can be something you might want to lean into that I know can create a lot of indecision and procrastination. So in our best moments, when we feel safe, when we feel connected, we make great choices. We're very happy about, hey, I feel great. I'm at a higher level on the scale of consciousness. And we kind of carry that thread through to better and better and better choices. Like we keep just like surfing that wave. And then something might come in that creates a little bit of stress where you're like pause. There's the freezing response. Yeah. And it might just be, so I'll go into this a little bit because this is kind of in context. So, hi, Mei-Ling. What can create, say hi if you're watching, you guys. So what can create just stress is too much information. Like there's too much happening. Obviously it could be an actual event. You get into a car accident. Something happens with your children. Something happens in the world, right? And then we go into stress response. And what happens when we go into stress is the brilliant front part of our brain, this whole part that is great at thinking and decision making. It's like there's too much data, right? And so it reverts back to this part of the brain. And I won't bore you with all the names and everything, but this part is more of the reptilian part. So this whole part that's meant to be, thinking through and making better choices, now you don't have access to that anymore because of stress. Now you're making choices out of usually four, there's a fifth one, but four choices. You're going to either fight, you're going to feel like stressed and fight, you're going to flight, which is leaving. You're like, I can't handle this, I'm out. You quit the job, you quit the relationship, you give up your flight, right? Or you're going to freeze, which is like, I don't know what to do. And we've all seen that in movies, or we've all probably experienced it where you just were like catatonic. You're like, I don't know what to do. And you just freeze. Yeah. Just sit on the couch and you just freeze. Overeating can be a form of flight, like you're escaping into food. Shopaholism, alcoholism, those are all escapes, like stress reactions. And then obviously fawning. Fawning is just people pleasing. So does that make sense how like when we're not stressed, we might make some great choices. Then we're very happy about who we are when we're not stressed. Let's say you leave the corporate job, you work for yourself, the stress level just went up to a whole other level. Okay, so what I want to break apart for you today, and maybe workshop with you today, is to really demystify stress as nothing else but just fear. And my definition of fear. So the first time I decided to come up with these acronyms is I was a brand new mom, and I was leaving Las Vegas, and I was traveling through France, and I hadn't lived in France as an actual adult since I was 13. So I had left France when I was 13, moved to the States, and then I hadn't really been to France since, like not as like a permanent thing, right? And I was so afraid, you guys. So the way that it helped me make sense of fear, because I was with a little baby, you know, he was 1 year, 1.5 or something. He was really small. And I made the choice to move back to France. It was completely my decision. It was my intuitive guidance. But I decided to name fear. So I broke it apart. It was fear is first. So F is first, event, arriving, raw. So that's how I made sense of it. I'm sure there are other ways people have called fear, but for me, it was first event, arriving, raw. I had never been in this situation before. Okay. So if you have never had your own business, if you've never been in this situation where maybe someone in your family is sick and you have too many plates you're trying to spin, I've never been in this situation. So there is no script. Your beautiful, smart brain literally doesn't know what to do. It has no data. Yeah. So it's going to go back and revert back to fight, flight, or hang on one second, you guys. I hadn't muted. I've been coughing. I've had this dry cough on and off all week. And it comes when I talk too much. You guys can do more talking then. Okay. This somehow helps. Gum. Who wouldn't have known? I'm sorry. Okay. So I hope I'm kind of putting together this new concept, or like giving you an opportunity to understand next time you're in a stressful situation, just go, I've never been in this situation before. So I don't have data, I don't have a script to go off. I haven't scripted it, I haven't programmed it. Yeah. So, and of course, like certain areas of your life, you might be like, yeah, it's new, but I trust myself. There's no trauma from your childhood around that, right? There's no trauma. Who was I talking to? I'm going to try to think of a moment. Oh yeah. I know who I was talking to. Because there are certain areas of your life where you might be wondering, like, why is this happening to me again? Like, I thought I handled this. I thought I dealt with this. Yeah. And there are other things, like if you imagine you're in a big, big movie theater with lots of different levels. There's level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're like in this huge mall with lots of movie rooms. And there's lots of places where you just go, no, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch that. I'm not available for that movie. I'm definitely not going to see that movie. I'm going to go to that movie. And that elevator to that movie and that story is totally available. Like, let me give you an example. For a client recently, she has no issues with getting married, finding someone who's a good fit for her, with her role as a mom, her role as a grandma. Like, lots of things were very good. And then there's one key movie that's like keeps repeating itself. And she's like, I can't get out of this movie theater. The story keeps repeating itself. Yeah. And that's usually because there's like some kind of deep-seated trauma, and the brain is still recycling that, what happened in the past. There's like the brain hasn't let it go. So it's happening again, but this time it's happening again with different people. So another tip, you guys, tip number 2, if you ever want to like start healing this and break the pattern is you have to recognize that whoever triggers you, whatever is triggering you, feels dense in your body. Like you're experiencing the pain and you're experiencing the density. And if you're experiencing the density, you're the one who's kind of like holding the weight of the pattern. Yeah. Which is good news because then you can change it. We can clear the pattern in your body, which then will change the situation out there completely, absolutely, 100%. Okay. It always, always has to, because we're vibrational matches. So my density in my body is creating a wavelength. Okay. Like a resonance. And I'm manifesting things that match that resonance. I don't know if you've watched, there's a quick TikTok video going out and going a little bit viral where the guy's trying to resonate things like HZ, I forgot, hertz, 400 hertz. And it only does that when it's the exact same hertz, right? I'll have to link it below. If you're leaving comments, I cannot see them. I'm so sorry. I don't know why. Oh, hi guys. Oh, I can see Jessica now and Milling. Okay, cool. Let me know if you guys have anything that you need me to include in the conversation. Feel free to post. Thank you. Yeah, I love this color too. Thank you. So if it's in me and I'm feeling the density, it's an energetic blueprint. It's a pattern, yeah? Things that are of the light, that are of your soul, that are truthful, are not going to feel dense. They're going to feel sparkly and happy. Like, I love myself, or I love my plants, or I love my child. Like, that is light energy. That is the frequency of love and peace. It isn't dense, yeah? When we start to get into the body and the 3D and certain like topics and certain files, we experience, what do we experience? The density, the patterns, the story, okay? And why is this happening to me again? And realizing I'm feeling the pain, I am feeling the pain of the trigger, that means I am a match for it happening again, but with different people. So the way that I woke up, I've had a lot of like wake up moments where I woke up from being caught in a movie. Yeah. And the way that I remembered to wake up from these moments, it's like, you go kind of into a spell and you're like, I think I'm asleep, but I'm trying to stay awake. So if to wake up, I'm going to tell myself this. Yeah, that was kind of my memo. And it was, I'm the common denominator. So instead of blaming 10 people for cheating on me, right? Or I don't know how many it was. I woke up and I was like, oh, I'm the common denominator. Like, they're not the problem. I don't know if they are cheaters or not. They may have never cheated on anybody before, but I was attracting them. I was attracting them cheating on me. So I was the common denominator. And when I took responsibility for that and went into the pain, it was really freaking hard. It was really hurt. Okay, it was really hurt. I realized that I had picked up that pattern from my mom and my dad, and that it wasn't even mine. But the wavelength had to find a story to match my wavelength. Yeah. So I was a very great, powerful match for men who would fall in love with me, but then also need to have other partners. Yeah. And I'm psychic and clairvoyant. So this was something I would find out quite quickly, because I could see it. I could see in their aura the other woman, or I could actually have a flash of him with another woman. So it was quite fast that I would see the freaking pattern. And the whole narrative starts with then you have a whole bunch of beliefs attached to that, like I'm not lovable, or F them, they're the problem. Okay, but that's not going to help. So the moment that I figured that out and I pulled out the pattern, I started to see where, like in other areas of my life, where I was continuing to live out patterns that were painful. Okay, so to wrap, is that resonating with anybody? Let me know. But if that kind of You know, it's like if you have a friend who every time you go meet with her, she's always saying the same thing. She's always like, you know, repeating the same story over and over again. And she's not really, she's in that fixed mindset. It's just being stuck in the movie theater at that one level, and the escalator and the elevator can't take her to another movie that's a better movie, a movie of love, a movie of commitment, a movie of faith, and you know. So just to finish the story, which is kind of funny, but and by the way, this was in 20, when did I pick up on the belief? 2013, 2014, I think, is when I got rid of it. I got married a year later to this wonderful, very committed man. So just to tell you, I go from meeting guys who cheat to guys who want to marry me, and did. And then I chose not to, he wanted another child, and I psychically knew he would have a child, but not with me. And I loved him and everything, but I knew that in this lifetime, I was done having more children. So I very peacefully, I let him go to have his own beautiful life. And he did have a boy. He is with the woman that I saw him be with. So I mean, my whole romantic life is another level, but I only manifested men after that who were very committed, very loyal, and very much wanting to go the whole way. So that was very beautiful for me to experience, that you could change a pattern and manifest something better. Yeah. Obviously, same with clients. If you guys want to do this for business, it's the same thing. No one is coming on my phone, you know, on my discovery calls. No one is wanting to commit to a 3 months package. No one can pay and afford my fee. That is your narrative. That is your, that you own that. Like what I would recommend for that is, what are you making it mean, and what is the pattern? So does it feel dense in your body when you get another no? If you get somebody not buying, are you feeling reactive, and are you feeling stress? Like, uh-oh, I'm gonna go into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So if you feel rejected in business or abandoned in business, you might do the fight, which is like, F this, like, I don't know, you start picking fights with people you love, or you fight with yourself, or you beat yourself up in your head, or you disapprove of yourself, right? Or you might do the flight, which is I quit, never mind, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm gonna go get a job, you know? But it's not the truth. The truth is you're a vibrational match for your blueprint, like your pattern. And if you want, we'll clear patterns tonight, which is one of my favorite things to do. Yeah. You might freeze, which is like, you cannot make any more moves, you can't post. You might fawn, which is like, you do it for free. You're like, oh, I'll just help you for free and you'll leave me a testimonial, you know? Fawning is where you don't respect your own boundaries, and you say yes when you want to say no. Yeah, you people please. So all of it is a freaking story, you guys. All of it is being stuck in a movie room that isn't the truth. So just in your notes, if you want to keep that in mind, is I think a thought, I feel a feeling. Does the feeling feel heavy? Very easy, it's a lie. If it feels heavy, you're believing a lie that is most likely from mom, dad, or someone else, or yourself, but it's a memorized false, it's like false evidence appearing real, which I know is what other people call fear, false evidence appearing real. But the way that I like to say first event arriving raw just means I haven't scripted this. I haven't decided what this is going to be like, you know? Okay. All right, let me wrap it up back to the original conversation, which was about your switching from one career to another, having a lot of stress, having too much data, having too much going on, feeling overwhelmed, and ending up in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's just a fear. It's a fear of being rejected, being abandoned, not being loved and approved of. It's a fear of lacking some kind of control. Okay. And I definitely want to put you in a big bubble of light and hugs and angel hugs, because I have a lot of compassion, because I had a trauma brain for most of my childhood. Okay. Which meant that I was absolutely fawning, absolutely fighting. I was doing all of them, to be honest, and collapsing, all of them. I had complex PTSD. And when I say I had it, it's because I no, I don't have it anymore. Now, do I still have like at times stress and then post-trauma responses? Yes, but because I have a system to find the narrative and the lemon I'm believing in, the story I'm believing in, I'm able to take myself out of it. Okay, and yeah. So what? So I guess if you guys are still here and you want to tell me who or what is currently feeling stressful, and who or what triggers your like a response you feel. Oh, my favorite other human is live at the same time as I am. My favorite mentor is live as I am. How freaking cool is that? I'm gonna have to go watch her live after this. Okay, I'm trying to see your comments, you guys. Okay, so do this exercise with me and then we'll do some deleting and clearing. Okay, think, okay, maybe don't pick something too hard to do it on. So if you have 3 areas where you get triggered: relationships, health, money, business, pick the one that's in the middle, okay? Because I can't directly help you right now, so I don't want to re-traumatize you, but pick what you feel your nervous system can handle, yeah? Now, while you do that, I want to tell you a really amazing story of what happened to Eva when she did this, okay? And I want to fulfill my promise, which was to tell you how your nervous system can block sales and success in your business. Yeah, it's really, really simple. So imagine you grew up where you maybe had to move and you had to go to a new school and you felt rejected as a kid. Maybe you didn't feel good enough. You didn't feel like you fit in and you felt like, I don't know if I put myself out there, they could say no, you know? So your mind has associated newness with pain and putting myself out there with pain. And the mind's number one job is to keep you alive. That's it. It wants to keep you alive. It wants to keep you safe, loved, and like, you know, with food, shelter, love, community, and like that's it. So if it feels that you're going to go into a situation that feels unfamiliar, where you've memorized pain, it's going to go, nope, close the door, don't even interact, don't even go there, freeze. And I'm going to tell you how Eva used to freeze, and it was so cute, and I would have to like shake her, even though she's in Singapore and I'm in the south of France. And Eva, if you're watching this, you're going to remember. I love you. My clients are like, become my BFFs. But you, like a lot of us, I used to be so freaking scared of this too. You were like, I don't want to go on discovery calls because they could reject me. They could say no. Which I'm sure every young man out there who's ever wanted to date someone they found attractive can resonate with. You're like, I don't want to ask her out. She's going to say no. And the whole time the girl's like, why is he asking me out? Why isn't he calling me to ask me out? Because she could say no and it could hurt. Yeah. So sometimes without a regulated nervous system, without having cleaned up that file of rejection from high school, you might be like, never mind. I don't even want to get on discovery calls because I'm for sure going to get a no. Okay. So we cleared that up with Eva, and all we did was, well, we did a lot, but we did clear out her fear cellularly. Like we did the shake off, and we're going to probably do it together today, you guys. We cleared out the fear of lacking control, which is a trauma response, by the way. Fear of lacking control is a very real trauma response. The fear of lacking safety and the fear of lacking approval. Okay. And why this is important to me to talk about, you guys, because 99% of the time you're going to look back at your life, you're going to be on your deathbed and you're going to look back on your life, or maybe not on your deathbed, but you'll be like on that rocking chair and going, where do I feel like I sucked? Like, where do I have regrets? And I guarantee you were in a stressful post-trauma response. When you yelled at your kid, when you held back how much you wanted to tell someone you loved them, when you just lost it at work or at home, when you rejected somebody and you just didn't speak to your sister for 20 years, or your dad, you were in a post-trauma response. Okay. When you just flipped out and couldn't think, made the wrong choices, you had a trauma brain. You were not thinking. It was reptilian brain taking over. Okay. So why this work is important to me is I want you to live the best decade of your life. And the way you're going to be able to do that is to have a brain that doesn't go into fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. Okay. Because then you get the full like, I got my brain back, you guys. And when I got my brain back, I was like, oh, okay. My brain was hijacked by constant triggers. And some of you don't know my story. I sometimes tell my story, but it's 18 years of trauma. The first 18 years of my life was trauma. Plus I had another near-death experience when my son was born. So I had another really difficult trauma to go through. Okay. And I'll tell you guys the story if you want to hear it. But it was 18 years of trauma. And then plus my brain was traumatized for years after that, until I really started to do more meditation and healing my nervous system. And I got re-traumatized along the way, right? So a lot of us have childhood trauma that we all saw stuff happen. Like I have clients who saw kids die in front of them. I have clients who saw kids drown in front of them. I have clients who obviously had sexual abuse, who had a sick parent, an abusive parent, a narcissistic parent, a very difficult, controlling, perfectionistic parent. We've all had, pieces of ourselves, stuck under these shells of being kind of an adult child. So we grew up, we're adults, but there's parts that are still stuck as little children. Yeah. So, which means that you're going to have those reactive choices, reactive decisions that are going to later, you're going to be like, I wish I had made a better choice. Well, in truth, you couldn't have. You just couldn't have. And there's no point in beating yourself up or disapproving of yourself, because you just couldn't have. Okay, it's like you put your hand in the fire, you were going to pull the hand out. Your brain associated the situation as dangerous or as painful or as it must be my fault. You had a reaction. Okay, it's kind of like when I go rollerblading right here by the beach on the boardwalk, and these cute little doggies, there's little cute Chihuahuas. They feel me come in on my rollerblades, and they just wow, 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 and they start attacking my rollerblades like ah, wow, wow, wow. And I think they're so cute. They're just reacting. They don't even know what they're doing, and then they snap out of it. It's so funny. I'm gonna record it next time. Because their first reaction is reptilian brain. This huge thing's coming at me, attack. And then they stop and they realize it's just a person on rollerblades, and then they're cool. But that moment of, oh wait, oh, that's okay. That to me is when you have you wake up. You're like, well, that doesn't mean that. Why did I make it mean that? Oh, this person can't buy from me right now. Doesn't mean I'm not going to be unsafe. I am safe. You know what I mean? Oh, I don't know, this guy doesn't want to date me. Cool. Doesn't mean I don't have love and approval. I have so much all the time, everywhere. Oh, my son doesn't want to listen to me. Okay, cool. I go on, I keep going. I used to get so triggered by that. Like if he didn't do what I asked him to do, I would be like mad, like angry mom would come out, like out of control, because I made it mean that I didn't matter if he didn't listen. Now I actually just know he doesn't hear, like he's literally in his little autistic bubble. I mean, he's not autistic, but he's in his little world. So I have now, if any of you have kids like that, it's the best tip. And I don't know why this happens, but it worked. It's worked since he's like 6. Well, since he knows how to read. If I make a list of the things he needs to do like chores or he does everything on the list in like 5 minutes. I think this is just good for every man. If you give men a list, they'll do everything on the list. It's hilarious, you know? But if I tell him and I speak the list, nothing gets done, nothing. So anyway, I'm always making little lists for him and he's always like, okay, done, done, done. I'm like, this is brilliant. So anyway, you guys, this is, if you have boys at home, you know, there's a few things like that I've learned and all of that. So where am I going with this? Don't beat yourself up if you've had post-trauma reactions with people. If people still trigger you, we're going to try to find some patterns today and delete them, just so you can feel the relief that it isn't your energy. It's just an energy you picked up and believed in and kept going. I'm trying to think if I'm missing any links and bridges for you. Yeah, we have. Yeah, this is the thing. Let me speak a little bit before I spit everywhere. Let me speak on this for a little bit. You may have seen what I did last January, which was this whole campaign on the man is not the plan. I am the plan. And I won't go into the whole thing today, but it was really speaking to, I am responsible for what I manifest and attract because I am my own energy being. And so if I need love and approval and control and safety, the whole universe is making sure my 3 jars are filled up. And if this dude or that dude or my son or my sister or whoever can't fill up my jar in that moment, that's on me, because why did I hand them my jar in the first place? You know, why did I need it? Why did I go, please, can you please love me and fill up my jar? Can you please give me approval? When that person's going to go, oh, I don't want your jar. I got mine to fill up. I don't know how to fill it up. I don't know how to fill up yours. People get turned off. Like if you've ever, you know, you're at a party and you're having fun and this person walks in and you can tell they're like awkward and they want approval and everybody gets turned off from them because it's like, it's a different vibration. You know, it's like, we're over here and he's like, but you probably won't like me and approve of me. So there's like a weird frequency. Yeah. So the best way to do that is to go, okay, who did I give my jars out to? And most likely it's whoever you're pissed at. Whoever you're mad at is who you give your jars to, and they haven't filled it up like you wanted to. And that I used to do that all the time. So I was very codependent, and very mad if he didn't do or acted the way I wanted him to act, or if he talked to the wrong girl and I felt abandoned, or whoever I was dating. I don't know. Okay. And like I had an ex who we couldn't hold hands in public. And I would freak out. It was so hard for me. It was like, my jar of security is, you know, shattered. But I was manifesting that because I needed to realize that I was giving away my jar. Okay. So this work is incredible. When I teach this work, people go, oh my God, I gave my jar to my dad and he never filled it up. And I need to take that back because he didn't know how to fill it up. Neither did he know how to fill up his own. Okay. But the universe who created you, who, you know, you came through your parents, but you came from the universe is always conspiring magically to make sure all of your jars are filled. Always. If you really think about it, you decide, I am going to be filled with lots of love and approval, starting with myself, or lots of safety and lots of control. And I'll show you how to do that today. I promise, hang out. We're going to do this. And then you go, oh, I have so much safety. I have so much approval and I have so much control, and no one and nobody had to give it to me. I mean, it is the most empowering state to live in. So to finish Eva's story, long story, is we did this work. We did this work. She did this work. We did this work. She got to a place where people showed up, stayed for the conversation. By the way, I think the rate for my clients, the rate of no-show is, honestly, I have to ask and double check, close to 0. That means that if someone books a discovery call with them, not only do they show up, they buy. and it's a pretty close to a 90% rate. Okay. Not, I mean, this is like a miracle in the industry because you talk to most people, there's a lot of no-show. And for me, no one not shows up, right? Like I can't remember last time I had a no-show, to be honest. It must be years ago, because we show up full and people come to that. They come to calls where you are full. They want that. They're like, I can't wait to talk to you. Okay. Or, I mean, if somebody had to reschedule, I'm always notified and they reschedule, but I can't remember, honestly, last time I had a no-show. My clients never ever tell me there's a no-show, because what they say is they go, I have a discovery call tomorrow. And then they go on the discovery call and I hear, oh, they buy or they didn't buy. And if they don't buy, we workshop, we look at what happened, what's going on. Okay. But most people buy. And I say that, and so Eva goes on the discovery call. And Eva sells the package, yeah. And then she would be a little bit hesitant with like following through. She would be like not yet ready to take the credit card over the phone. She would wait to like send them the link. So anyway, we reprogrammed that whole thing. We cleaned that up for her with the 3 jars: approval, control, safety. Okay. Because when you clean this part of the, like, you clean up the stress, you clean up the fear, you're no longer trying to run your business from your reptilian brain, which is an impossible place to do it from, by the way. Like, it's terrible. You know, you now start to be like logic. You have logic. Okay. I'm very logical with sales, and I teach sales really quickly and easily because to me, I don't have fear around it. I was bottle fed entrepreneurship from my parents. They were both entrepreneurs. So I grew up with entrepreneurial parents. And then I did a lot of waitressing, and I just was in sales all the time. And to me, it's like the coolest thing. So I don't have fear around it. So I think it's why I can help people process their stuff around it. Okay. And not to talk about sales, but I wanted to show you how in your business or at work, if you have a hard time, like, accessing your brain, it's because you're in your foggy trauma brain, your reptilian reactive brain. Yeah. If you don't know what to do, if you don't know what to do about somebody close to you, like your child, or you're in a post-trauma reaction. So my son's going to the States in October without me. He's going to go be with daddy. And sometimes I'll be like, what? My son is going to go to Miami, NASCAR event, and then he's going to Vegas, and then he's going to Mexico, and then he's going to go back to that's a lot of like planes and places, and I'm not going to be with him, right? So sometimes my body goes into like freeze, right? My baby. And then I have to go, okay, clear it. Because here's the thing, that's another thing I would remember if I were you, is like, if I am in that fearful place, my intuition, which is my knowing, is at complete zero. So I cannot be intuitive and connected to the truth and be triggered and fearful. So I might call up his dad and be like, I don't think Hayden should go. I don't know, I'm getting a bad intuitive hit. But I'm just in fear. So I'm getting whatever, I don't know. I'm not getting the truth. Okay. So if you want to get to the truth, you've got to clear your fear. So we're going to do some of it today. And if you want to do more with me, I have so it's going to be over 5 different dates spread out, probably around 2 weeks. We could do some weekends. We could do whenever everybody's has time and availability. We're going to do like a workshop to really help you clear out these freaking post-trauma fears. Okay, because they're just fears, and it doesn't take that long to learn. What you need to do is you need to reteach, or like, because your body used to do this, you just forgot how to do it. But it's about teaching the body how to shake off the fear again and like snap out of it and wake up and sort of go from here back to here quicker. It's like flexible mindset versus fixed mindset, but it's for your nervous system. Because here's the thing, you guys, like for your business, let's say you're on a sales call and it looks like the person's not going to buy. Let's say she asked how much it costs, right? And you tell your price. And she goes, oh my God. My girls, they know to say absolutely nothing and to be very neutral and to be in their heart. They don't have the fawning response of, oh, it's too much. Well, okay, we can take 1,000 off. We can make payment. No, they don't do that. They just go, yeah, that's the price. Okay, how can I pay you? Do you want to make a payment now? Or do you want to wire? I'll make the full payment. That's what they get. So if you guys ever see my screenshots of like, oh, she paid in full, she's in, and the clients get amazing results and the clients come back and they refer people to them, right? It's because they don't go into fawning or freezing or fighting. Have you ever been on sales calls where the person starts fighting with you when you don't want to buy? You start arguing with the potential client. That's terrible, right? So anyway, so if you want to go to the workshop, you guys, it's only $88. Like 5 full workshops with me for $88. Okay, it's just the number that popped into my head. I might limit how many people come so we have more intimate one-on-one time. Okay, and it's not going to be like this. It's going to be where you all get a hot seat every single time. Okay, so you all get to see how Milling, I don't know if you're still on. Jackie, I don't know if you're still on. Jessica, like you all have been in my group calls, yeah? So you guys see how you literally, everyone who's on the Zoom call with me, when I do it, everybody stays and watches because they're amazed at how people release so fast and move so fast and manifest. It's like a freedom party. I should just call the whole thing freedom party. I don't know why I called it fearless, but anyway, it's a party. And it's the momentum, the energy, it's so good. It's so good. Okay. You've all, I don't know, Milling and Jackie, you've been in it since 2015 is the first time I did a group masterclass mastermind. So, and Jessica, I think you joined a few years after that. So I don't know. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. So we are going to do some, sorry for my gum, but if I don't chew gum, I'm coughing. So I somehow have manifested that solution. Instead of sucking on honey stuff, I just, somehow the gum takes away my cough. Okay, maybe it's a thing, I just didn't know about it. All right, my loves. Okay, we're going to delete some patterns. All right, take a moment to decide to put out in front of you, like just bring it out. The person, the situation who's just like, creating some strong, sticky, recurring emotion in your body. And just take a breath. I know you might feel like you're holding your breath when you think of this, but you want to really breathe. It's a really important part of this, is you do want to breathe. As you recall the person, the moment, the situation, you need to breathe. Oof. Oh, all right. See, I'm starting to release. That's step 1. I'm going to take you a lot further, but if you think of the person, he broke your heart, he disappointed you, she said the thing, she didn't buy, you don't have enough money in the bank. Don't do the ostrich thing where you just stuck your head in the sand and you can't handle it. Like, you are strong enough to handle this. You can do this. Don't back out of this, okay? You're big enough, strong enough to do this. Your inner child in you has probably gone through much worse. She could do whatever she's had to go through. You can do this, okay? If you can handle what happened to you as a kid, you can handle this. Bring the moment that is mildly or more intensely triggering, and just sit and breathe. It's better if you're on the floor. It's better if your feet are touching some kind of carpet or the floor. Take your shoes off. If you can't sit outside, it's better, but you want to breathe, okay? Just breathe, you guys, all right? And we're going to clear some patterns. And the reason we need to clear the pattern is because the pattern is creating overwhelm and overthinking, which creates stress. Stress puts you back in this fight or flight response, or freeze or fawn, okay? So most patterns is conditioning. So if you're more of a human design kind of person, pattern, conditioning, same thing, okay? All right, the way you know you're reliving a pattern is you have density about the situation. You have a sticky, like looping thought. It's dense, it's heavy, it's sticky, okay? Locate where that is in your body as you think of the situation. And if you want to do pen and paper, that's recommended. Like just say your name, feel, and then continue writing because, and just put the name of the person. It's recommended you put it down and let it not be so heavy just in your own thinking and body. Just put it on paper. If you feel like you're going up in post-trauma response, you want to put your hand in the back of your head and you want to put as quickly as possible, cover up this whole area and just breathe. If you know the tapas pose, you can do it. It's like this. This is if you feel like you're starting to spin, okay? I have some clients who just go into post-trauma response very fast. So you got to do that, okay? And I'm just going to say this to you in case anybody is going through a post-trauma, like you're hyperventilating. I'm just going to say, okay? Everything that happened to you did happen. It was real. It's over now. Everything that contributed to you resonating with this happened. It did happen. It's over. You no longer need to resonate, identify, or connect with this. Oof, and let the energy move. Everything that contributed to you identifying, connecting, and resonating with this happened. It happened. It was real, and it is over now. Whew, okay. It's safe for you to be in your body. It's safe for you to feel through your skin. It's safe for you to hear through your ears. Breathe through your nose. It's safe for you to be right here, right now. Everything that contributed to this level of stress happened. It was real, and it is over now. Everything is healing now. And every part in you can see that you are safe now. That you are okay now. And that you are here and now. Everything got really quiet. Okay, so you can switch hands. And if you ever are with a child who's having a just chaos, like they're like either collapse, either freeze, or they're just in their bubble, you just do this on their forehead and you just hold it. And you can say the statements if you want. Sorry, you guys, I've had a dry cough on and off this week. Everybody around me has it, so. All right. Did you feel that? Really important. That's called Tapas from Fleming Tapas. She's in LA. She's in California. She's amazing. I'll link her website below, but it's healed so much for me and my clients and my family just to do that. And it's really, really available. I was with a few kids this summer who witnessed a really difficult scene with their parents, and one kid was just like in collapse, which is the fifth, like just he was non-responsive, like he was just not here anymore. And I did that, and literally within, I don't know, a few hours, he was back to being a normal kid, you know, and he was in that collapse state for days. So that was really cool to see. to see him alive again, like to see him, there was a gun situation with his dad and the police came and it was a whole ordeal, and he was beyond like post-trauma, living in his tissues, you know, and not just doing that. Obviously he's getting other help from another therapist, but just me showing up and doing that really helped him snap out of it, you know. So do that around. So I recommend you do that with kids when they're in bed and it's like cuddle time and you're like, let me put my hand here and here, and they love it and they're like, okay, mommy. And then you just go, you know what, if anything happened today, it did happen, it was real and it's over now. You're safe now, you're here now. You no longer need to resonate or identify with that. And kids are so smart, they'll just be like, yeah, duh, because their nervous system hasn't completely closed. So they're still able to do the duck shake off and just be like, oof, yeah, I'm good. Okay. So that was one thing we do. Another thing we do is the 3 jar, but I feel like the call has been really long and I want to come back and do more later. If you watched the replay and you loved this conversation, let me know because I'll do more. And yeah, and so as soon as 10-ish people want to do Fearless, we're going to do 5 different separate workshops around your own specific triggers and fears, and whoever triggers you, whatever financials, like it's anything you want to do, we can handle it. Okay. So we'll workshop it in a really intimate small group, and it's for 5 different days. And that's $88 for now. I don't know, maybe I'll raise the price, I don't know. But if you want to join, I'll link the link below. And if you want to do anything else, we have Sales Angel Bootcamp that's happening, where we do this work and we do your sales strategy to attract and manifest clients. Eva is incredible. She ended up going from I can't do discovery calls to having a wait list of people who bought her package. And then she took off and went on a holiday and put everybody on a wait list. And they still paid her. And so she could just have a vacation and then come back and work with them from, I don't have any clients, right? So it's really, really fun. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you for letting me do this. I loved staying in and talking about trauma brain and recovery. And if you sometimes get a vision of who you're meant to be, who you want to be in the world, like if you get a vision of this person, you're like, I know I'm meant to do this and I'm meant to have a really functioning brain and I get to have more energy and I get to be more creative and I see myself lead big conversations and have a book and have a mastermind and you're like, yeah, but I have no idea how I'm going to do that because I don't have the energy, I don't have the focus, I'm too ADHD, I don't see how I'm ever going to do that. Then it's because the 1.0 version of you, she's still feeling like there's too much going on. Stress reverts to like this fearful post-trauma reaction of like freezing is I can't make decisions, I don't know what to do, but it's a fear. So I just showed you one quick way to really breathe. So number 1 is you have to breathe and bring it in and breathe through it, and you might just shake off. That might just be enough. Your nervous system can release stress just by breathing. Okay. I call it retreat to treat your heart, is where you come into your body and you bond and you meet with the sticky recurring emotion and you just sit with it and breathe. Some of you probably released just doing that. And then if you feel like, oh, it's going up, like you're starting to go a little bit too like in another state of trigger where your whole body is going to a 10, obviously be outside, put your feet on the floor and you want to do that. And just, I get so calm doing that. It's incredible. And just say the statements. Yeah, I'll link up Tapas Fleming below so you guys can see how she does that. And I include the statements in my work with everybody now because it just is really important. And then the 3 jars, which we'll do. So if you wrote it down and you know how to do the 3 jars, go straight to the 3 audios. What do I want behind my name? Do I want approval, control, safety? Take your jars back. What do I want behind their name? Take your jars back, okay? So we'll have 5 dates coming up this month, like in the next couple weeks, when people want to do it. If nobody wants to do it, it's fine. I'll do it with my current clients. They'll be super happy to do it. We'll just meet up and do this. And we'll just really workshop your each thing. So remember the pattern, you guys, and I wanted to delete more patterns, but I'll come back. The pattern will seek to repeat itself. If you watched the previous video I made, your mind is going to pick one sticky recurring belief and make it right again and again and again and again. Okay. So recently, when Frédéric started working with me, her nervous system wasn't calm around sales and clients. She had never sold a package before. Okay. Never. She sold, oh, actually, no, that's not true. She sold a 3-session package. So what I mean by package is like the way that I teach it. So she did sell a 3-session package for 600 euros, I think. What I mean by package is more like how I teach it. Okay. So that she hadn't done like a higher end package is what I mean. So Frédéric was a little bit worried and stressed, and we calmed down her nervous system. And where was I trying to go with that story? Hang on. I was trying to link it to something that I was saying. Oh yeah. It's coming back. Hang on, it came back and left again. She thought she needed to go and do to get clients, and she couldn't figure out what she needed to do to be more in alignment with more clients. So her belief, her movie room was, I don't know what to do, I can't find clients, right? And maybe that was a 70-30. I believe I can just call them in and I don't have any money, right? And then we just flipped it enough to where this was more and more possible, to like, more logic, more like, I brainwashed her. And then 1 minute after we hung up the phone, she manifested somebody booking her for a discovery call. And the next day, the person bought her package. 1,800 euros, which is 2,000. Okay, so that she had never sold like a several $1,000 package is what I meant. Because all we did was make this a little bit more possible in truth. And I think, I don't know if Jessica's still here, but she had something happen similarly where it's like, freaking out, no money, to calm down, breathe, believe a new thought, focus on the better thought, believe it, feel it, know it's coming, and then it manifested. Yeah. So that's all it is. When you want to work through these tools, it's really to stop repeating patterns. Yeah. Like I did for men are cheating on me. No one loves me. I'm unlovable, to I was the common denominator. I manifested that. I'm lovable. I'm safe. I don't mind anymore. Like whatever. It's not like it doesn't affect me directly, right? Or my jars. So, all right, my loves, this was amazing. I want to do this again soon. Have a good evening, and watch the replay. If you caught us halfway, you might get more context and more like juicy bits and quotes and things that we put at the beginning. Okay? Mwah. See you soon.